Rashida Tlaib has made it crystal clear. She will not be silent. She does not expect her constituents to be silent, and she does not expect the diverse working class in the United States to be silent. And this is in response to a lot of neoliberal Democrats and Joe Biden Republicans basically saying the reasons the Democrats lost seats in the House, didn't pick up the Senate, or at least are unlikely to pick up the Senate, and didn't win the presidency by some of the polling margins expected, is that they ran too far to the left on things like racial justice, on a Green New Deal, and Medicare for All. And that all of these things were far too extreme, and the left needs to basically hide away its ideas because the centrists need to dominate the discourse if they want to beat Republicans. And I've already talked about how that's BS. In a previous video on AOC, we talked about how every single member of Congress, including people in districts that lean Republican who endorsed Medicare for All, won re-election, and every single Democrat that lost their seat in the House was basically a neoliberal ghoul that didn't stand for anything. So there's already that. But Rashida Tlaib is noting the message here is very harmful to the diverse working class young base that basically delivered victory for Joe Biden. And she notes here in this Politico article, I want to read you some excerpts. "We are not going to be successful if we're silencing districts like mine," said Tlaib, who told her colleagues something similar during a contentious call last week. "Me not being able to speak on behalf of many of my neighbors right now, many of which are black neighbors, means me being silenced. I can't be silent. We are not interested in unity that asks people to sacrifice their freedom and their rights any longer," said Tlaib, whose Michigan district is among the poorest in the country. "And if we truly want to unify our country, we have to really respect every single voice. We say that so willingly when we talk about Trump supporters, but we don't say that willingly for my black and brown neighbors and from LGBTQ neighbors or marginalized people." And so that is bang on. People like Claire McCaskill and all of these neoliberal Democrats are like, how can we reach out to the mythical Trump Republican that we didn't win in this election, even though Trump did better among Republicans in 2020 than he did in 2016. I believe he got about 90% of Republicans 4 years ago and 93% of Republicans this time, showing that all of the outreach to Kasich and Republicans like him was largely worthless, at least in relation to the work being done by Black and Hispanic and Indigenous and youth and environmentalist and working class organizations all over the country and in key swing states. There's no comparison. If there was any value to Republican outreach, it pales in comparison to diverse working class progressive activism. And what Tlaib is saying is, one, as a matter of justice, we cannot ignore the people that gave us victory, but as a matter of pragmatism, these are the people that gave us victory, and maybe we should listen to them, because maybe they could deliver more victory in the future. And she continues here. She says, if voters can walk past blighted homes and school closures and pollution to vote for Biden-Harris when they feel like they don't have anything else, they deserve to be heard, Tlaib said, choking up as she expressed frustration near the end of an interview this week. I can't believe that people are asking them to be quiet. And so Tlaib goes on to basically say that she wants real progressive activists in cabinet. She wants their voices heard. She wants meaningful representation for the diverse working class base of the Democratic Party that made this victory possible. And what she's saying there is crucial. People from these communities know that over history, at least over recent history, Democratic administrations and Congresses did not deliver for them either. That the blighted homes and the poverty and the lack of hope and opportunity in their communities did not start in 2016. It did not start on January 20th, 2017, when Trump became president. These are long-running issues that predate Donald Trump and that go back well before the Obama years even. Barack Obama and Joe Biden were president and vice president for 8 years. And a lot of these problems didn't go away, and in some cases, they got worse in places like Flint, for instance. So, Tlaib is saying, how dare you get these people to come and vote for you, and they did the right thing because Trump is an existential threat to the society, to democracy, and get these people to vote for you despite them not having anything from you in recent history, and then after they vote for you and deliver record turnout in some very disadvantaged communities, you ask them to go away and be quiet so that the Lincoln Project and John Kasich and Claire McCaskill can say that their voices don't matter or that their voices are actively poison to the Democratic brand. How dare they? And it's good that Rashida Tlaib is saying this. And I think this is crucial because Rashida Tlaib gets it. Like, her father worked on the line at an auto factory. She comes from a working class background. And I'm going to play you a clip here of Cori Bush, who is a working class person, who is a person that has a direct experience, not just with hard times, but with actual poverty and deprivation. I want you to hear what it means to have someone like that go to Congress.
There are more people food insecure in America than there are people in the country that I come from, of Canada.
My goodness. And you know what? It's going to continue this way until we have some radical change. And, you know, people push back when we talk about the things that we need. So look, locally, we decided we're tired of seeing people hungry. We're tired of seeing our unhoused population sleeping on the street. That's our community. So you know what? If our local government won't do it, if our state won't do it, if they don't understand it, look, I've slept in my car. I know what it's like to try to move the car around the St. Louis area, hoping that the police won't stop me and take my kids from me. You know, I know what that's like. You know, I don't want that for anybody else. So we're in the street, 20 degrees, 0 degrees outside. We're out in the street when it's 100 degrees, making sure that people get to a safe place, making sure that people have food to eat. And the other thing is, you can't just tell people to go get food. And then if you give me some money to go get food and I walk into the store and they push me back out because I have a disheveled look, or because I have a smell. Well, did you also offer me a place to take a shower? Where am I supposed to use the restroom? So we have to think about that. You have to wrap around people. You can't just say, well, I'm going to give you food. And if you think about it, if you've never been in the situation where you had to go to food pantries, I've been there. You know what? You can go to the food pantry once a month. You have to go shop around to find different food pantries to make sure. And then you go to some food pantries and the food is old. It's expired. So we have to do better taking care of our own people in our communities.
And so that was Cori Bush with Ali Velshi earlier this week, talking about things like food insecurity and housing insecurity. And it matters that people like Cori Bush are not only not going to be silent, but are going to have a megaphone now because she's going to goddamn Congress. And it matters. It matters that diverse people, that working class Black, working class Hispanic, working class Indigenous people find themselves with levers of power. It matters because they deserve more than to just have their votes and their money and their labor siphoned every 2 and 4 and 6 years or whatever. And then have them be thrown back into the closet as the Democratic Party's dirty secret so that they can appeal to the mythical swing voter that, didn't come out anyway. Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, AOC, they are not just the future of the Democratic Party, they are the present of the Democratic Party. And if the party wants to, 1, win something, and 2, actually do something different when they win, these women, and also, men like Jamal Bowman, of course, need to be at the center of power. Nothing less will do.